Hello, hello, hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, April 28th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Remember, the trend is your friend. And as all the morons and imbeciles are watching the mainstream news that takes them over the edge into stupidity, we're giving you what's going on, what it means, what's next, and what you might want to do. Because it's a freak show out there, brought to you by a freak in your country. Anyway, the stocks roared back Thursday. You know what? On news, great news of
Shit.
you got it. U.S. gross domestic product unexpectedly declined in the first quarter by 1.4% from the year prior, compared with the 1% growth expected by Wall Street. Hey, guess you guys are wrong. Well, guys and girls got to be equal. Down 1.4% as inflation's going up. What did we say was going to happen? Dragflation. Economies drag down as inflation goes up. We're the only ones saying that. This isn't stagflation. So stocks roared back. The tech-heavy NASDAQ rose 3.1%. It's still in bear territory, meaning it's down more than 20% from its high. And again, the markets are rigged. The whole game is rigged. The facts are there. Plunge protection team. Fuck off. You got a bunch of scumbag bitches and bastards who are rigging the market with the Fed. Plunge protection team. What a name, huh? Anyway, the slew of corporate earnings report drove market sentiment Thursday. And shares of Meta surged 17.5%, following a beat on earnings. So the world is a little bit bigger than Meta world, but that pushed the markets up. And shares are still down 48% on the year. Okay? But the markets go up. And of course, what's going to be the big one is the Fed raising interest rates. We're going to see where that goes and what that's going to do to the markets. Oil prices, they rallied because Germany drops opposition to Russian oil embargo. So Germany, which is very heavily reliant on Russian gas and oil, they're saying, well, that's okay. We're going to not buy it. So they're going to drive the prices up. You're already seeing the producer price index in Germany, you ready? At 30.9%. Brilliant people out there. I got to tell you, what horseshit this is that the people are swallowing and the governments are doing with this war between Ukraine and Russia. That is none of my business. Do I like what's going on? Absolutely not. Am I opposed to Russia's invasion? 100%. Do I know why they did it? Absolutely. Again, been writing about it in the Trends Journal since 2014, when the United States overthrew the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych. How they went back on the lie with NATO. The agreement was they would not move 1 inch further, the deal made between Gorbachev and Bush Sr. And the Ukrainians' failure to abide by the Minsk agreement that was brought to them by France and Germany, and maybe the UK, I forget which, 2 or 3, which left that separatist region, the Donbass region, that voted for Yanukovych, that's very Russian, so that it broke that agreement. So I understand the whys. But the hatred being sent out about Russia and the hypocrisy spewing out of the mouth of Americans, with all the wars and all the people that Americans have killed, it's beyond the belief. But it's really not, because you saw what the COVID war did. how it robbed us of our freedom, and people swallowed the bullshit spewing out of the mouths of politicians. Oh, and where are all the health officials? Oh, talking about health officials, how about an official piece of shit, a real scumbag, arrogant fuck? Fauci. Hey, Fauci just came out and said, without saying it, what we had forecast in the Trends Journal back the first week of January this year, that the COVID war would end by late March, mid-April. We've said it 100 times. And now he's saying, well, looks like it's over. Oh, well, now it's official. Coming from an official piece of shit. And I would call that to him his face. We pay that arrogant fuck. That arrogant fuck. He's the highest paid public servant in America. Public servant. What the fuck am I talking about? These arrogant bureaucrats. These pricks can't get a job in the real world, and I can't say the other word. And then they become so arrogant and telling you everything you should do in your life, like they do in Italy. And boy, the Italians, you've lost it worse than anybody. You were the first to follow the Chinese in the lockdowns. As an Italian, I'm disgusted with you. And you got that Draghi clown running the show. The bankster bandit in charge of your life. Oh, Cinque Stelle, 5-star movement, 5-star fucked off. That other guy with the leg. What a bunch of shitheads. Anyway, it's global. It's a global shit show. Gold. Yeah, gold's down because the dollar's booming up. The stronger the dollar gets, the weaker gold gets. But we're still positive on gold. It's still hovering in the 1900 mark, 1896. Yes, we're giving you in the Trends Journal the breakout points where it goes down and where it goes up. And your new Trends Journal's out this week, and it's right there. America is back. That was the words of bullshit Biden, and is back in the war game. Inflation, global unrest, there's no greater safe haven asset. Gas prices soar as Russia turns off taps to Poland and Bulgaria. Yep, again, gas prices climbing up higher. And Bulgaria sending prices up 20%. Yep, keep it up. Keep the sanctions going. And in Russia's starkest move yet to target the reliance on fossil fuels since invading Ukraine, the interruption rippled into markets with the euro falling to a 5-year low against the dollar. Futures contracts tracking Europe's wholesale gas prices gained 20%. All right? They pared back a bit. Ursula von der Leyen, European Commission president. Oh, if only a woman was in charge. I'm so tired of their fucking shit. Black, white, green, yellow, gender, save it. Good and bad comes in all of them. Said that Russia is attempting to use gas as an instrument of blackmail. That is racist and sexist. A blackmail? Why, it's transgender. Male, female. Of course, I'm being bullshitting because they're just full of shit. Blackmail. No, it's not blackmail, arrogant woman. They want to get paid in rubles. They don't want to get paid in dollars. It's their product. You want to buy it, buy it. You don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But don't be racist and sexist by calling it blackmail. Anyway, we could go on, and we will. Again, your Trends Journal, this issue, 171 pages. 171 pages, no ads. Facts that you don't get anywhere else. We give you the articles, what's going on in the world, what it means, what's next, and what to do. Nowhere else in the world you get it for the grand total of $2 a week. When you pay the toilet paper record, there's not one story I got out of it today that I could use. $3 a day. Soaring dollar pushes euro to lowest level in 5 years. Oh, you ready? I talked about the U.S. GDP. Fell 1.4%. Adjustable, we got mortgages. Total mortgage application volume fell 8.3% last week. The average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgage with conforming loan balances increased to 5.37%. And it's the highest level since 2009. The rate was 3.17% the same time a year ago to the week. What's that going to do to the housing market? Where's there going to be housing growth? Where's there going to be decline? And again, the big one we're looking at in the commercial sector, it's in your Trends Journal. It's going to be the biggest crash ever witnessed in urban areas. Unilever raises prices by 8% and warns inflation will accelerate. Oh no, how dare you warn inflation will accelerate? Jerome Powell, the Fed head, said it was only temporary, then transitory. No, transitory, then transgendatory. Again, economy going down, inflation going up, dragflation. It's right in front of our eyes. Americans are moving out of urban counties like never before. Americans leaving urban counties reached a new high in 2021 as droves of people settled. You know where they settled mostly? Not suburban, ex-urban areas, just as we had forecast. That's Kingston, New York is one of them. The prices are cheaper than the suburban areas. What's this going to do? Again, we're writing in detail. They're moving out of urban areas. Where's there going to be a bust? And you better prepare for it. Ex-urban counties saw the biggest increase across the board, with about 80% gaining population. The prices in Kingston, 181 ex-urban areas went up, all across the country, at one time went up the highest. Europe urged to bridge supply gap in metals for clean energy. I'm mentioning this because there's big entrepreneur opportunities here. This new clean energy movement is going to keep moving much faster with these Russian sanctions and the price of gas going up. Instead of wasting the money on war and giving to the military-industrial complex, if we had people in government that had a brain bigger than their ball is balls, and I can't say the other word, it's all dried up, they would be putting this money, rather than killing people, and into the defense budgets. And again, we reported that the defense budgets now around the world hit an all-time high. They would be putting it into research to come up with a real sustainable clean energy. It can be done. The resources are not being put in there. But anyway, there are going to be a lot of entrepreneur opportunities, and we write about them in high-tech science in the Trends Journal. Venture capitalists flock to crypto. Fidelity to allow Bitcoin in 401ks. We keep going on with this. Right now, Bitcoin, it's stuck in that $38 to $44 range now for a couple of months. Where's it going to go? Where are the breakout points? We have them in the Trends Journal. China in deep crisis is Hong Kong private equity chief. The founder and chair of one of Asia's biggest private equity investors has criticized the Chinese government for policies that he said have resulted in a deep economic crisis comparable to the global financial crash. This is Weijian Shan. They manage over $50 billion. I'm mentioning this because if you go back to my interview about a week or so ago with Gordon Chang, he's telling you more than what this fellow is telling you in many different ways, the same as and more. So you might want to go back and check it out. UN chief decries absurdity of war in Ukraine. A fat mouth, where was your crying of the absurdity of America's Vietnam War, the absurdity of America's Iraq wars, the absurdity of America's Afghan wars. Fuckface. Where were you when the absurdity of America attacking Syria and destroying Libya? Fuckface. Putin threatens West with rapid retaliation. Yep. Joe Biden wants $33 billion more in armaments and intelligence to be sent to Ukraine to keep the war going. Biden's request on Thursday, which Congress is likely to approve, includes $20.4 billion for security and military assistance, notably $5 billion for weapons from American stockpiles included. As long as the assaults and atrocities continue, we're going to provide military assistance, the U.S. president said. It's not cheap, but caving to aggression is going to be more costly. We either back the Ukrainian people as they defend their country, or we stand by as the Russians continue their atrocities and aggressions in Ukraine. Unlike America's atrocities and aggressions in Iraq, in Syria, in Vietnam, in Libya. Oh, how about Yemen, Biden? How about Yemen, the media? The worst humanitarian crisis on earth. What bullshit this is. It is not our war. This has to be settled between the Ukrainians and the Russians. I'm an American. I am not a piece of sellout shit like the rest of you fucks. George Washington. No foreign entanglements. You fucks have lost every entanglement you got involved in and made bad situations worse. No one's talking about peace other than me. No one. No one. So shut your mouth, do nothing, and we'll all die in war because they're taking us there. It's over the top. In addition, the U.S. plans to provide $8.5 billion in economic aid as our fucking country's going down the crapper. The roads shit, infrastructure shits, and we got shitheads running our lives. Ready? NBC News. U.S. intel helped Ukraine protect air defenses, shoot down Russian planes carrying hundreds of troops. This is from them. From the get-go, we learned pretty heavily forward in sharing both strategic and actionable intelligence with Ukraine, a U.S. official piece of shit briefed on the matters told NBC. It's been impactful both at a tactical and a strategic level. You got it? This isn't a proxy war. America's involved in the war. America's involved in the war. America's involved in the war. Russia vows lightning response to NATO as war threatens to spill beyond Ukraine. If someone decides to intervene into the ongoing events from the outside and create unacceptable strategic threats to us, they should know that our response to those oncoming blows will be swift, lightning fast, Putin told Russian lawmakers yesterday. We have all the tools for this, ones that no one could brag about, and we won't brag. We will use them if needed. And I want everyone to know this. We have already taken decisions on this. Warehouses, including in the west of Ukraine, have become such a target more than once. How else could it be? NATO is essentially going to war with Russia through a proxy and arming the proxy. War means war. This is from Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov. It's not proxy. It's in front of our face. Also, yesterday, fuckface Blinken, the little scumbag who's our Secretary of State, who went over to Yemen to Saudi Arabia to help kill more Yemenis under the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner Obama, said Ukrainians should take actions that go beyond their borders, clearly referring to attacks on Russian territory. Isn't this something? And meanwhile, Seth Cropsey, a former deputy undersecretary of the Navy, published an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal titled, "The U.S. should show," you ready? "It could win a nuclear war." Could you believe how fucked up this shithead is? This arrogant, stupid fuck. He writes, "The reality is that unless the U.S. prepares to win a nuclear war, it risks losing one." Robert O'Brien, a former White House National Security Advisor, proposed a series of conventional responses which are necessary but not sufficient. Corpsey concludes, "The ability to win is the key. By arming surface ships with tactical nuclear weapons, as well as attacking nuclear missile subs, and thus reducing Russian second strike ability, the U.S. undermines Russia's ability to fight a nuclear war." Could you believe this stupid fuck? He then says, jeopardizing Russian second strike capability would tangibly raise the military stakes. Mr. Putin could no longer afford to unleash his nuclear arsenal with impunity. Instead, he would need to reckon with the possibility that NATO, you ready, could decapitate the Kremlin. This is decapitate the Kremlin. We are at war. Imagine having to leave everything you have behind because nuclear bombs are dropping. Again, look at our poll. Bet the trends. 76% of the people say out of 2056 that Russia's going to win. And this guy's talking about a nuclear war. Undersecretary of the garbage can. You guys haven't won a fucking war. Save your shit and shove it down your mouth. EU admits Russian sanctions don't work. Polish Prime Minister said on Wednesday that Russian success in resisting Western sanctions, expressing he regrets about the fact. So far, we see that Russia, unfortunately, they're going to be self-sustaining. Yep. I could keep going on here. Keep going on. Ready for this one? U.S. discloses values of weapons left in Afghanistan. U.S. forces left behind military equipment worth more than $7 billion during their chaotic withdrawal from the Afghanistan last August, the Pentagon has revealed in a long-awaited declaration. All right? And then you got these fucking arrogant military fuckheads saying what the strategy should be after being there for 20 years, destroying a country, and you left behind $7 billion? Israel attacks Syrian capital, killing 9. That's okay. Israel could do whatever they want. They could go into Syria. They could kill anybody that they want. They could slaughter Palestinians. They could steal land. But that's okay, because if you say anything bad about them, you're an anti-Semite. Could you see the hypocrisy here? Could you see where we're going? Syria sends letter to UN about U.S.-led coalition's war crimes in Raqqa in 2017. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs made it clear that the U.S. military operation carried out by the forces of the illegitimate international coalition in Raqqa in a period from June to October 2017 led to the almost complete destruction of the city and thousands of civilians, the Syrian foreign minister said. You could destroy anything you want in any other country. America could do it. Israel could do it. But the Russians are bad. We are going, again, we're doing everything we can consider donating to freedompeacejustice.com. freedompeacejustice.com, or do nothing. Do nothing. Because everybody who believes in their religion should stand up and fight for freedom, peace, and justice, or succumb to the demonic rule that's going on now. And support us with the Trends Journal. We're giving you everything that we can. Everything that we can. Go to trendsjournal.com. Again, we're in the fight for our lives. This is not bullshit. This is real. I'm just giving you some of the, you look at the Trends Journal, the facts are in there, and I just gave you some more. So thanks for tuning in, and remember, check out Salenti and the Judge yesterday, a big one about corporatism and fascism that is now the USSA. Check out my interview with Gregory Mannarino, and on China, Gordon Chang. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war, are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.